sunshine of my life. Good morning. So glad you're here today. I'm Reverend Lori Sheets, former singer, entertainer, and songwriter. Gone spiritual. Today, our Seaside singles are having a brunch at Coco's in Encinitas, so plan to stop by unless you're married. And there has been a lot of excitement brewing about Seaside having a signature event, something that we could do each year that would grow and thrive and put us on the map in the community, and also to really engage people here, our congregants. And so we have some ideas. We need yours. We need your creativity. We need your expertise, but we also need God's expertise. And so today we are visioning for that event following second service here in the sanctuary. Dr. Christian will lead that so that we can see exactly what is being revealed to us. The couples potluck is this coming Friday, the 15th. They are having it in honor of Valentine's Day. There are some RSVP emails in the program, so please check those out and respond so you know where it is. The Seaside Singles, there you go. These Seaside Singles, they're always doing something. They're always having activities. I think it's awesome. Happy hour on February 15th at the Craftsman in Encinitas. So remember the French Fry and Velvet Gloves, that musical? It was all scheduled to be done and then it was canceled. So those of you who do have tickets, it has been, Sasha is here in the back. It has been changed to March 2nd. So please make sure all of your tickets will be honored so we have a chance to enjoy that again. We have lots of classes because we are a teaching philosophy. We are a prayer philosophy. And, you know, here's the thing. Today I am not going to be funny. I'm not going to be clever. I am not going to be any of that because no. There's a lot of announcements. I have to really pace myself, and my little snippets that are hysterical most of the time will not be in this. No. Next week, come back. Next week. Our classes, you know, we have this class going on that is calling in the one, and it's a 10-week class and has started, but there's been created a 7-week class, so you can still participate. Reverend I'm going too fast. I tell them in the back. Reverend Catherine Economo is going to be offering a workshop on spiritual mind treatment Saturday morning, March 2nd. She is the master. She has a very strong ability to teach the spiritual mind treatment. So if you're new or if you'd like to really get polished up, master practitioners Jackie Mayo and Kathy Nelson are offering a class called The Partnership Way. That's beginning in March on Monday evenings. And then the season of nonviolence is here, and we are having a workshop on March 9th with Nicole Pellegrin, and it's called Connecting with the Heart. All of that information is at the education table, so please stop by. We have a very special ministry that's being revealed to us. It's called Sharing Seaside's Miracles, and it's a ministry that shows through video some of the things that Seaside has done in people's lives. More to come, but please go back to the Welcome Center. Gail, you want to raise your hand and hooty hoot? Gail is there. She is the ministry head. And the other thing is to be thinking of ways and ideas that you might have for a story that you'd like to tell about how Seaside has affected your life. Page 2. Can I get some, maybe a water or coffee or a donut up here? There is the lunch and launch of the Seaside Sisters Women's Ministry, and Callie talked about that last week. It's on Sunday, November 17th. Ladies, please come. Please put... Oh, no. Oh, this says November. It's February 17th. Ladies, come. There'll be an incredible meditation. You'll get to learn about what's going on in this ministry. Also, there is Cafe on Lake if you'd like to come to service and stay over. And again, this is a launch. This is incredibly exciting here at Seaside because the women's ministry is being truly energized and engaged. Friday, anyone who's crossing their legs, cross them the other way. Okay, that's just to shift the energy. I learned that in a workshop somewhere. Friday, February 22nd, the Seaside Sisterhoods present a transformational film that is actually a screening. It's called The Cure Is. When you see this film, you will never look at your health in the same way. We have a video clip to entice you. February 22nd.
July of 08, I was told I had a fatal blood disease. I asked what the prognosis was. The surgeon said you need to write a will and find a place for your son to live.
I've never been sick in my life, you know, and here I'm facing cancer, and that was a pretty scary thing to do.
I've seen patients who were told they had only a short time to live, but who are alive and thriving decades later.
What happened in that place where a miracle occurred?
When people accept that there might be another answer, transformation begins to happen.
What is making the decisions which lead to our acquiring a specific disease at a certain time in our lives?
When you study the centenarians on this planet, the average 100-year-old is healthier than the American 70-year-old, and there's 30 years difference.
How much genes contribute to the diseases in our world? It turns out far less than 10%.
Science now is overturning some of the deepest truths that have been held for 300 plus years.
Regardless of age, whether you're sick or you're in perfect health, this information is for everyone.
This information is for everyone. Health. Be there, February 22nd. And now it's my delight to introduce our light bearer this morning, Ray Holder. And now please stand up and greet your neighbor and remain standing.
Please remain standing. It's time for our congregational song. This morning we're singing Holy, Holy Way. Yeah.
Carl. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me know that love is all around.
Let me know that love is all around.
Oh, let me know that love is all around.
Let me know that love is all around.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me know that love can heal us all.
Let me know that love can heal us all.
Oh, let me know that love can heal us all.
Let me know that love can heal us all.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me care for those around the world.
Let me care for those around the world.
Oh, let me care for those around the world.
Let me care for those around the world.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Hey, all right. Sounding good, Reverend Fran. Hey, good morning, Seaside. Woo, what a joy it is to be with you on this fabulous day, this day of love, where I'm going to share that we really should be practicing with the one we're with to enhance that love in our life, because they are there for a reason, for sure. Anyway, Seaside is a spiritual nexus inspiring people to live their divinity, to live their dreams, and know that it is an open, affirming spiritual community that welcomes you wherever you may be on your spiritual path. Know that there is a place for you, and you bring a lot to this community. So I'm grateful you're here today, this day of love, and a special expression of love to a number of couples, 22 couples between services recommitted to their vows of love here today. And it is very exciting. Congratulations to all the newlyweds. And it ranged from teens to Hollis, who was this June, with his sweetheart, who he renewed his vows with, this June they'll be celebrating their 70th wedding anniversary. So you better not let us down with that song of love today. We'll be looking for it. But to take us a little bit deeper with that love is a wonderful practitioner. She is one you see around the bookstore. You see her in practitioner sessions. A true, wonderful spiritual expression. That is Kay Samuelson. Kay?
So let us dedicate this moment to go within, to be in the stillness for a minute. And it is within this stillness that we share that intuitive understanding that we are all one power, one presence, one spirit, individualized as each and every soul in this room. And how good it feels to remember our divinity, to remember the truth of our loving nature. For I know that love sees itself in all things. Love outpictures itself and opens our heart and touches our soul with its infinite, infinite love. I know love. It pushes us forward on this spiritual path. And it transforms us, realizing that we can create a world that works for everyone through this loving essence of life, through our choices, through our dedications, through this community, knowing that it is love that brings us together. And I am so truly grateful to know this truth, to know that Reverend Christian is a channel for the love of spirit to shine forth out into this world in its own expression, in its own truth. For it is all God. It is that joyous, joyous expression of God. And how good it is. So I bless this day, knowing that it unfolds in its own perfection and always done in love, and so it is. I'll be loving you always.
Thank you, Reverend Fran and Practitioner Kay Samuelson. What a beautiful way to experience the love. Do you guys feel the love in here? And all the love from the 22 couples who renewed their vows. I'm Reverend Christina Tillotson, and if you're new here at Seaside, we have this love all the time, not just on Valentine's Week. So we really invite you to come and share the love, because here at Seaside we honor love in all of its forms. And we just know that love is that glue that holds the universe together, and we celebrate it through coming together here at Seaside. So if this is your first time, we invite you to go to the back as you leave and pick up one of our famous gift bags from Seaside. It includes all kinds of information and a CD and a book and all kinds of good stuff to show you how much we love you and how much we appreciate that you came to share your love with us today. So thank you so much for being here, and thank you everyone else for being here too on this day of love. So the reading for today is from Dr. Christian's Joyous Living Journal, which we're all reading every day, and we're coming together in love and consciousness every day as a congregation. And this is the one for today: relationship as a spiritual practice. Relationships are an amazing spiritual practice. Relationships offer one of the most profound and challenging ways to spiritually grow. Each relationship offers the opportunity to learn about yourself, another, and life. In relationships, you are confronted with all the ways that your past, your negative beliefs, and your subconscious patterns are still playing themselves out in your life. You get to see where you're unable to be unconditional love, where you harbor resentment or judgment, or when you actually withhold love. Each relationship offers you an opportunity to practice the way you want to see the world and be in the world. Are you acting from integrity, speaking the truth, seeing with love, and looking for the good? You get to practice living out of the spiritual truths and principles you believe. And a quote from Alan Cohen: "The highest form of spiritual practice for those who aspire to create heaven on earth is our relationships with one another." And to contemplate, are you using your relationships as spiritual practice? Are you learning about yourself and practicing living from your spiritual ideals? So let's take these ideas into prayer. Turning within to that place of love, turning within to that place of light, turning within to that place of spirit, where that presence of what I call God, and it doesn't matter what one calls it, but that presence of God dwells. That one that is through and as all of its creation, that one that, as the ancient philosophers said, that love that holds the universe together. It is all God, it is all love, it is all light, it is all wisdom, it is all joy, it is all peace, from the tiniest atom to the farthest galaxy. There's no place where that love of God is not. It is omnipresent through and as all of its magnificent, magnificent creation. And that one is who I am right now, and each beautiful spirit here is. That light, that love, that joy, that bliss of spirit in human form, sitting right here and right now, sharing this love and this time together. So I am knowing out of this sacred time together, that love that is the truth of spirit, as each one just gets down to a deeper, deeper level in each cell, in each mind, in each consciousness, and flows from here out into this community and this state and this country and this world and this planet and this galaxy and the whole universe, just surrounding this whole universe in that love of God that is the truth of each being. And for this love, for this light, for this wisdom, for this bliss, for this joy of God as love, I am just so, so, so grateful as I release this word to the law, just knowing that it is now done in perfect peace, in perfect love, in joy. And so it is. Amen.
We are blessed to have the lovely and talented and wonderful Fran to sing with us today. So let's give a warm hand to her.
Isn't it sweet? We bless Rick Henry. Rick Henry called me Wednesday and said he's under doctor's care, so we didn't have time to announce it or to put it anywhere. So I want you to know that I am not the tenor or the baritone that he is. Also, I wanted to thank you very much for prayers for me, and thank you, Prayer Works, because I'm here on the stage right now. I wasn't last week, but I'm here. And I want to thank Carl Christ for doing such an awesome job and taking over and singing I Release, which he has never sung before. One more thing. I wanted to talk to you about the song we're going to sing. This is a standard. It's a classic. My mom, God rest her soul, was a piano bar lady with 6 kids. Can you think about it? And she worked every night, and she put her little tip money in a jar and told me, if you need something, darling, it's there, but don't wake me up. I have to tell you, my mom was very special in my life, and artistic. You know, she was a school teacher, she was a college professor, and a very talented musician, and working in San Diego at that Red Fox Room for years. And this is one of her favorite songs, and I hope that you like it too. All right. It's very clear our love is here to stay, not for a year, forever and a day. The radio and the telephone and the movies that we know are all just passing fancies, and in time may go, but oh my dear, our love is here to stay. Together we're going a long, long way. Inside the Rockies will crumble, Gibraltar will tumble, they're only made of clay, but our love is here to stay. It's their turn. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's Bob Mathis. A genius, Lynn Willard. Mr. Tom Bishop, let's take a couple here. Listen to this bass. He's playing with us. He's playing with us. And there's Mr. Hollis Hassel over there. Give him some. gets me every time. What a band on Sunday morning. Oh, 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 my dear, our love is here to stay. Yes, it is. Together we're going a long, long way. The Rockies will crumble, Gibraltar tumble. They're only made of clay. But our love is here. Yes, you know. Our love is here. Say it with me. Our love is here. Say it one more time now. Our love is here. One more time. Our love is here to stay.
And that is our very own Reverend Fran Lacosta Clist. Thank you, thank you. I get to hug cute ones, don't I? All right, love you. Fabulous. Thank you, Carl. You guys are wearing red. That's kind of nice. So, anyway, thank you, Reverend Fran. And let's see, this morning's relationship as a spiritual practice. Well, I'll tell you what, if you're in a relationship, you might as well be getting some spiritual stuff out of it. I trust. It's a matter of being aware and awake and realize that God is everywhere, and it might as well be in the most dynamic expression of love that you have going on, because it is love that matters in our life. In 1 Corinthians verse 13, or chapter 13, it says, though I have the faith that I might move mountains, and I have not love in my heart, I'm nothing. And you've got faith and you can move mountains, and you don't have love, you're nothing? That's like, wow, that's very important stuff, this love. And so really, I find that love truly is that expression of God. Mother Teresa said that God loves this world through us. And God loves this world through us. And so what can I be but that expression of love? What is imperative to me is that I become that vehicle of that highest expression that is possible. And the highest expression that I know is love made manifest. And the relationship I am in becomes that wonderful playground, laboratory, that place where I get to practice this spiritual expression of love and know that it is a safe place, because you can't point the way to love. Love is the way, which means you get to be that place where love is having its way in your life no matter what is going on. Can I choose to call forth that opportunity to bring forth love in my life when I have got questions and dynamics and who knows what else is going on? I remember my dad taught me when I was young that the best thing a father could ever give his son or their child is to love their mother. I was like, wow, I got it, Dad. I got it. I see. Callie thanks you for that. But I came across a comic strip of Dennis the Menace this week. And it was a picture of his mom and dad and Dennis standing around the dinner table, and mom's lighting the candles. And Dennis says, why are you trying to be so romantic? You guys are already married. Let the relationship you are in be the place where you do your spiritual practice. Let this be the place, because when I think about it, if you have committed to a relationship, it seems to make common sense. If you've committed your life, your soul, that you should be willing to give all to it. All that I have, or all that I'm capable, and I've committed to this person to share my life, to journey through time with, I might as well do my best that I can possibly do to bring to this relationship the best that I am. Our relationship, I wrote in yesterday's journal writing, it's love, active love, is that, a relationship is eternal. That it is more than just bodies, but it is the energetic exchange that lives beyond the grave. It is that energetic exchange that you begin to share with somebody else that carries on with them as they move through time and space. Love transcends time and space. And so I just encourage you to practice with the one you are with, and know that where you are in your life, let it become a spiritual practice so you can bring forth spirit the best you can, whether it's a short time or a long time. I mean, Hollis, oh my goodness, in Eugenia, 70 years. I'm still amazed at that. That is incredible. There was a gentleman who had been married 53 years, and he had open heart surgery at the age of 78, and his bride just was with him nonstop. Slept in the hospital, stayed by the bedside. They were the kind of couple for 53 years. They were always known as a couple. Their name, they were together, and she was worried. And finally, the day came when they took the trachea, the tube out of his throat. And the first words out of his mouth to her was, "Doctor told me that when they opened me up, they found your name carved on my heart." It's how is it you're expressing your love? Are you willing to be vulnerable or corny or cute with the one you love in your life? Are you willing to be that expression so you can be that vehicle for the highest aspect of God to be manifest? And how wonderful to be in a relationship where you can be vulnerable. There was a guy in the airport, and he was on the payphones, which there aren't many left anymore. But, he was emptying out his pockets, and he got to the last of his change, and the operator came on and said, "You have 1 more minute." And he was talking. At the end of that minute, the phone went quiet. And so he hung up the phone, and he started to walk away, and the phone began to ring. And he said, "There's the operator wanting more money. I better not get it." But something inside him said, "I better get it." So he went back, and he picked up the phone. And on the other side, the operator said, "Hey, when the call went out, your partner just said, 'I love you.' And so I thought I'd just call you back and let you know that." And as humans, we so hesitate in just telling people how much we love them while they're still alive. Let's not wait till they're dead and gone or write that letter. Let us this week, here's a soul assignment for you, is to pick up a phone and call somebody or meet them in face to face and look them in the eyes and let them know, "You know what, I really love you. Who you are makes a difference to me. You have touched my soul, and you will be part of me forever." It's those little things. When we look back, we'll come to recognize that those little things were really big things. That what I thought was small in that moment made a big impression. What is it you're doing with those little things? There was a couple, they were celebrating their 30th wedding anniversary, Tim and Becky. And the girls asked Becky, "Hey, so what's the secret?" And she said, "Well, when we got married, I was going to make a list that listed Tim's 10 faults. And for the sake of our marriage, I would just forgive those." And so they said, "And so what were those that you listed?" She said, "Well, I never quite got around to making the list. So whenever he does anything that makes me really mad, I just say, 'Boy, Jim's lucky that's one on my list.'" Are you able to not make a big deal out of the little stuff, and are you willing to recognize that the little profound moments of love in your relationship and in that connection can be one of those big things as time journeys forward? Was it I think Blake, that was it, William Blake. He talked about seeing the universe in the grain of sand. Boy, that's seeing a lot in a little. Or Walt Whitman finding himself in a blade of grass. And people say, "But Christian, those guys are poets." Well, Plato told us anyone who's touched by love becomes an instant poet. So, allow that love to touch your soul and become that poetic expression of life so you can be that vehicle that brings love into this world where heaven touches earth through you. You begin to be that place, and you bring it first into that relationship that it becomes your spiritual practice to be that expression of spirit and not allow the wildness of the challenges in your life to grab you or the frustration to run unguarded or unsupervised, that frustration out of control in your mind with the anxiety or the fear, or do they love me or they don't love me, or how could they have said that, or what do they really mean? It's like a tiger pacing on the cage on your brain. And the more that frustration, the more the anguish begins to go, it tramples the seedlings and the possibilities of the truth and the love and the greater expression of God. You've got to recognize that sometimes it takes a little time for that love or that trusting space for Spirit to blossom into a greater realization of what is the gift that is coming from your spiritual practice in this relationship. To know that you have not been abandoned, but that it comes from just being fully present and realize the gifts come in the now. It is our linear mind that wants the gift, that we see in the future. The linear time thing has the past and the future, and it misses out in the now. And the now is the only place that the gift can be, where love can be experienced, where the fullness of the divine can have its way. You've got to say yes to that and know that Spirit and its infinite wisdom can bring it forth. Last week I was talking about my peach trees already having blossoms. I guess I'm still amazed at that. But you know what? The peaches are going to come forth on that tree. And as they begin to come forth, they're coming from where? But within. Now, I could go cut open that tree and look, and I'm not going to find any peaches inside that tree. Just as if somebody were to cut me open to try to find that expression, that love, that God presence, that life force, they're not going to find it in my heart. They're not going to find it in my brain. When we're talking about that withinness of our being, what I've got to do is trust that and play with that in the environment and where I am and allow that to come forth. And so you will create in your life from within. You can't go out and get the love. You can't go out and get the car or get the money or get the relationship. What happens is you've got to allow it to come forth from within you, and it outpictures in your world. You've got to be willing to have the faith, and you've got to be willing to trust that it is coming out of you, even in a moment when you don't know where it could come from. Now, Nate was a young man who got fired. And the boss basically said, Nate, you're fired. And he was just crushed. And all the way home walking, the depression and the heaviness just sat heavy. And he walked in the house, and his wife, Sophia, greeted him. And he said, I've been fired. I'm a failure. I don't know what I'm going to amount to. It's just not good. And there was this tension of silence. And then Sophia said, well, Nate, that's great. Now you can write that book you've always been talking about. Be that great author I know that you are. And he said, but you don't get it, Sophia. I have no income. I don't know where the money is going to come from. I can't write and work. You just don't understand. And she took his hand and said, follow me. And she pulled him, not pulled, but she walked him into the kitchen. And they opened up a drawer. Inside the drawer, she pulled out a box, and it was just filled with cash. He said, oh my goodness, where'd that come from? Whose is that? Sophia said, it's ours. As you've been giving me money every week to run the house, I've been putting away as much as I can because I knew this day would come where you would need an opportunity to be able to focus in on your book. And so I think there's about a year's worth of savings here. And so Nathaniel Hawthorne took that year and wrote what became a literary masterpiece known as The Scarlet Letter. It's amazing when you're in relationship how there can be that mutual support and that dance of love and energy that goes back and forth. Sometimes your partner sees things in you that you don't know that you had or that you were capable of. You could be that great author. That is part of the joy and the dynamics of allowing your relationship to be a spiritual practice where the presence comes forth. So this one lady, Lavon, she's been married to Frank for quite some time, very capable, able guy, except for when it came to domestic chores. And so one day, she tried to convince him that, their best friend B, his husband, wasn't too capable, but somehow B was able to instill the ability to cook, to sew, to do laundry, just in case anything would happen to B. And then Lavon said, so what would you do if something happened to me? And he was worried and concerned. Then a smile came on his face. And he said, well, I'd go live with Frank, B's husband. It's like, there is something that is moving in life that is magical, that is wonderful, that is God. But many of us have a barrier to love. And seldom is, and rarely is that barrier to love ever consciously created there, but it usually has come about as the heart had been bruised at some point, and so what came up, because at some open point there was some pain that had been inflicted, that barrier begins to take place. And what happens is it shows up within relationship. It shows up in partnership. And you have a choice. Am I going to look at it, or am I going to try to reason it away? Am I going to get into analysis here, or am I going to be willing to be vulnerable enough to explore that? Like your partner calls and says, you know what, I'm not going to be able to make it back Wednesday like I was thinking. There's so much work. I probably won't be back until Friday. And all of a sudden just hits, boom. Yeah. It's like, it's only as if my cat was dead or my dog was dying. But the challenge isn't that there is extra work and they cannot return. The challenge isn't from that circumstance. The challenge comes from the past experiences that were there. Whatever they may have been, you know what, I'm not attractive. Or I wanted my dad to hold me and he was unavailable, or he didn't hug me when I needed to be hugged, or my lover no longer wanted me, or whatever it was. All of a sudden that wall begins to come up and that barrier is there, and what is imperative is that we begin to allow the relationship we are in as a place to move through that defenses, because our faults and defenses are really an indication of where our wounds are. And if I am willing to go there and to explore and trust who I am with, then all of a sudden what happens is the power of that commitment and that relationship begins to be a place where I can grow. It can be a place where I can forgive. It can be a place where there is a mutual respect and understanding and the commitment to love that is far greater than having to look and be a certain way. I begin to be present for the presence of God to have its way and not fall back into the little petty ways of being. There was an individual who went to a psychiatrist and said that I have just been so hurt in this relationship that I want to divorce and create as much pain and hurt as possible. And the psychiatrist said, well, you know, probably, you know, the way you can create the most pain is get them to love you. You know, shower them with all sorts of compliments to a place where they become so dependent on you for your love and that sharing. And then you say, and I want a divorce. And so went back, gave it a shot. A couple months later, returned to the psychiatrist. Psychiatrist said, how's it going? And said, perfectly. He said, great, this is the time to say you want a divorce. Said, no, it is so good right now. I never want a divorce. The power of love. The power of commitment. Allow who you're with to be the one for your spiritual practice. And allow that stirring of your heart and soul. Woody Allen talked about love. He said, I get nauseous and I get tingly. I'm either in love or I've got smallpox. It is definitely, it takes us beyond where we have the control. It takes courage and time to look deep into someone's eyes and in their souls and to see more than a body, see more than a personality, and to allow what it is you see to reflect that depth and the beauty in which you are. And this kind of making love just allows every touch to be so sweet, so special. A willingness to open up to, with your soul, to be just touched in a deeper way. Because a true love story, it doesn't have an ending. You know? And that dream of that true love story, I watch so many people trying to make their dreams come true. I'll give you the tip. What you want to do is you want to be true to your dream. And as you are true to your dream, what comes forth from within you is the fruit, is the magic, is the wonder, is the relationship, is whatever it is, because it's within you. And will last a lifetime. There's a beautiful story. I guess it's beautiful. It's an older couple, been together all their life. And it was appropriate for them to be moved into an assisted living program. And like many of the assisted living around here, the place was packed. And so Mrs. West was moved into a room with a couple other ladies. Mr. West was moved into a room with a couple other guys. And after they'd been there for a while, Mr. West just wasn't eating. He had refused to eat. And one day in his room, he was in the bed, there were 3 nurses there. One of them had the spoon with the gelatin trying to get him to eat, and his mouth was clamped. The other had the straw for his health drink, just trying to get some nutrients and substance. Maybe we refused to open. The other lady was there holding a glass of water, just opening again, and just he wouldn't budge. His mouth was clamped up. He was just on a food fast or whatever it was, and he mumbled about Mrs. West, and they just go get Mrs. West. And so one of the aides ran out down the hall, and they brought this elegant-looking, mature woman, wheeled her in on the wheelchair, and just wheeled her up to his side of the bed where they could look at each other like face to face. And they could say just instantly, you could see him relax. You know, the smile come back to his face. And she just patted his hand and caressed his forehead, told him how he really should eat. And sure enough, to everyone's amazement, Mr. West began to eat his food, and he ate well. And then Mrs. West began to hum something. You could just see the smile. And the aide said it was like they were invading on this private moment of these 2 romantic lovebirds. There was a point where they pulled the curtain around this little area and allowed them some private alone time. And what was left was the sense that, this romantic love is not only for the young, but actually that romance and that love grows more wonderful as time journeys forward. And Mr. and Mrs. West are together now without any challenges or constraints with their body or with the nursing home or wheelchairs or even in separate rooms. I truly believe that their love shows that there is something beyond to death do us part. Love lives beyond the grave. It really does. And when you choose to do your expression and do your spiritual practices with who you're with now, there's magic. There's that energetic something that carries on. Got another one of those stories of an older couple. You want to hear this, or throw it out? Yeah, it's a short one. Yeah. That lady, she was going into a beauty salon, I guess you call them that, and asked if she could have her hair done. And they said, yeah, but I'm working with, I call her Mrs. Smith, who's under the dryer. She has a doctor's appointment. As soon as her hair is dry, I've got to stop working with you for a few moments and brush it out. Said fine, and started with her, and then Mrs. Smith was done. She was an older lady, and they assisted her, and they pulled the dryer up, and they assisted her into her wheelchair, and they moved her on over to the operator, and started brushing her hair out. And just as they were about done, Mrs. Smith's husband drove up, and he got out of the car, and he went to the front desk, and he wrote out the check for whatever the cost was for her perm, and got her coat. And as they were wheeling her, back out to the front of the salon, it was clear that Mrs. West was, severely disabled, and the burden weighed heavy on her husband. And as they got her to the husband looked at her and said, "You know what, honey? I don't think we should go to that party tonight." And you could just see the disappointment on her face. And she said, "Why?" And he said, "Well, you look so pretty, I think somebody's going to steal you from me." And so, love grows stronger. And it is not bound by the physical appearance, but what 2 souls have shared and created together. And your relationship that you're in now is the place of your spiritual practice. And I'll leave you with a thought from Elizabeth Barrett Browning that is, it's not love that makes the world go round. It's love that makes the trip worthwhile. God bless you. Let's make this trip together. Hey, let's keep it going as we bring Reverend Fran back to the stage.
makes a trip worthwhile. I think so. So I beg you, let it be me. Don't take this heaven from one. If you must cling to someone, let it be me. Each time we meet love, I find complete love. Without your sweet, sweet love, what would my life be? Don't ever leave me lonely. Tell me that you love me only, and that we'll always let it be me.
Reverend Fran Lagosta Christ losing herself for us. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, my. I think that song may have been for you too, Carl. Oh, for the big guy in the sky, huh? Okay. Well, hey, this is the time of our service where we have the opportunity to share our love, to give our gift, to give our financial support, to help this spiritual community to continue in this time and space and this location. For we operate in this physical world that requires us to participate in the financial expressions to keep it going. And so this is a time in which we get to feel that love within our heart and allow it to pour forth in the financial support of God's expression that shows up as Seaside. And as you give, it comes back. It's not why you give, but that is how the law of circulation works. It is the activity that Spirit is having as your very life. And as you begin to say yes to that divine activity's abundant expression, what you will find is that abundant expression increasing in your very life. So I invite you to listen to your hearts and to feel that love and say yes to that which wants to give and support God's work. And so I'd like to invite our ushers to come forward as we take our gift from our hearts and our souls, and thank those that mail in their contributions when you cannot be here on a Sunday. And thank you to those that remember us with the auto tie, that regular systematic support from your world to the activities of Seaside. And thank you to our home audience that is watching this live streaming or the podcast. We appreciate your mailed-in support. And I share this prayer of gratitude with the most generous of spiritual communities, knowing truly that the blessings of the divine unfolds in this very moment through each and every one. For the blessings of God has its way in this moment that touches and resonates within our heart and soul. And I stand as a vibrant expression of that affluent flow of life, knowing that each of us moves in this infinite abundance of God, that each of us lives and moves and has our being in that affluent flow of life itself, that there is this infinite reservoir forever seeking expression. And I know right now and declare that each and every one of us claims that level of expression through our actions in this moment. For each of us is that activity that God is having in an abundant way in our life and is reciprocated at the level in which we have chosen to play in this moment. I say thank you, Father, Mother, God, for the clarity of that divine expression in this moment. And so I send this, which has blessed my life, out into the world, knowing that that love continues to bless all those with whom it comes in contact. And so it is. Amen. Together, let us say our affirmation of abundance, which is, Spirit continues to bless my world. Gratefully, I live as the giving expression of Spirit, opening the floodgates of the affluent flow of greater good as my life now.
I want two.
L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore can love. Is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two. Two in love can make it. Take my heart and please don't break it. Love was made for me and you. The way you laugh at me. O O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore can love. Is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two. Two in love can make it. Take my heart and please don't break it. Love was made for me. Love was made for you. Love was made for me and you. Yeah.
Hollis!
Thank you. Thank
the
you.
Love Doctor. Woo! 70 years, my goodness. Hey, in June, I want to renew yours and Eugenia's wedding vows, okay? Right here, Sunday morning, two of you. All right. Hey, look at this abundant expression of love. I just stand here with gratitude and a big smile in my heart and soul and just feel the outpouring of love and the abundance that is a statement of God's expression at Seaside, knowing that truly this does come from within the heart and soul of everyone and is an outpicturing of the divine ideal that's showing up at Seaside. We send this forth trusting and believing in God as our very source in all good things. And I know right now that this money, this gift is received in great appreciation and taken care of with good stewardship and set forth into action back into the world in the love in which it travels. And so it is. Amen. Thank you. Thank you, Joanne. All right. Oh, wow. So much love is going on at Seaside. I see, Gail, you got a wonderful new ministry that's videotaping the miracles that are happening in people's lives. Talk with Gail. Get videotaped. We want to put you up here on Sunday morning so you don't have to stand up here live. She'll be available afterwards. Wonderful new miracle ministry that is being captured on film. I'm sure you get your partner Elliot to help you out a little bit too, huh? A little bit, yeah. You guys Emmy winners. That's a good thing. Also, hey, we're doing a visioning after the service here today. There is a desire emerging in the heart of Seaside that wants to create a signature event. You know, something that is similar to, that is tied into town. That's like the Woody Show or the Greek Festival that just begins to expand and grow as the years and the generations move on. And this is the moment in time that the Seaside wants to cast that and birth it into space. And so today, after the service, we're going to take some time, catch the vision, see what that looks like, and invite everybody to have ownership in birthing it. So plan to stick around, be part of that. If not, you can run off with the singles. They're having brunch today, so you could do that also. So, hey, a lot of good's going on. I want to say thank you to the wonderful crew today that helped out. Musicians, fabulous. Reverend Fran, terrific. Good going. Dr. Christina, always a joy. And I see you received from your colleagues, the ministers of religious science, the wonderful Global Heart Award. And congratulations for being recognized with such love from your colleagues. So, going on. Hey, Melanie, thanks for giving us sound. Marv, giving us the visuals. And know that there's CDs available right after the service. I even think after service they got a cake for Garuda. It's her 70th birthday today. So congratulations, Garuda. So, and for all you lovebirds, the bookstore has stocked up with all sorts of fresh goodies. Feel free to pick that up. Elizabeth Goodman has got her wonderful book that can help you deepen your relationship with your committed others, to know each other. There's just a lot of fun happening here today. So I want to pray because healing is the thrust of our movement. I want to invite any of our religious science practitioners to please stand and invite you to feel this upliftment of love. And I stand in this upliftment, this surge, this wellspring of the divine made manifest, and know truly that I am moving in this energetic field that transcends time and space. And the love that fills this room, this family, this community truly is a viable, real, palpable experience of God made manifest. For this love space, this spiritual community is holy ground upon which we stand. And I know that the fullness of God has its way into expression now. I stand as a witness, an expresser, a confirmer, a proclaimer, the divine expression of God that moves in every one of our lives, where there is nothing that can deny it. So any of those boundaries that has been put up because the heart had been pain that I know right now dissolve into the nothingness from which they came, and that each and every one of us chooses to be more open and receptive to participate with our spiritual practices in relationship, knowing that it is safe to discover more of the self and to see more of that spirit expressing in the other. For as Mother Teresa said, that God so loved this world through us, and each of us becomes that place, that vehicle, that higher expression. Grateful to know that love is the way, and I choose to love, to care, to be kind, to be compassionate, and to come from this kind of divine vibration of being that heals, renews, and makes new. For truly the blessings of Spirit flows in this moment in ever-increasing kinds of ways, and the body is returned to its wholeness. For that which guides the galaxies is the same intelligence that moves through the body and our world of affairs. And I know right now that within our life, that relationship that we find ourselves in becomes more honest, more open, more intimate, more juicy and wonderful. For truly the blessings of God is invited to be seen within your partner. So I know here that God has its way. Every prayer request chest is answered. For Carrie, who's looking at experience greater healing, the presence of God is there. For truly Spirit moves within the heart and soul of this community. That it was dissected, could never be found, but yet it is a pulsating expression of the countenance, the aura of what Seaside is. Love, joy, caring. So I say thank you. And I live in the state of grace and appreciation of the divine expressions, the very life in which I live and move and have my being. I choose to express myself and to know that essence is where I come from. And as I bring this forth, what blossoms in my world is the honoring of God's grace. So I let go, I trust, and I believe in that Spirit's expression as life itself. And so it is. Amen.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I did not know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged and trying to make it through just one more day, you got to let it go. Say, come on now. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. You know there's no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. No, there's no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Seaside, take one. And I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yeah, no, there's no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here. Yes, I'm only here. Yes, I'm only here. Yes, I'm only here.
Our affirmation is, in every relationship, I practice living from my spiritual values and principles. Together, in every relationship, I practice living from my spiritual values and principles. One more time. In every relationship, I practice living from my spiritual values and principles. And our song of grace.
I'm living in peace. I'm living my life for what I believe. Through joys and through fears, in this world I walk. God's grace shines on me. Well, it shines on us all. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We are living. Is one family. We honor all truth as together we walk. God's grace moves through me. Well, it moves through us all. We are living in grace. 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 Amen, amen.
Yes.